The stock market's down, crypto's down, gold and silver are down, even the dollar is still down. So the big question everybody is asking themselves is, where the heck is all of this money going? What do we even buy? Well, there's a lot of theories out there about what exactly could be going on, but there's two in particular that I think stand out to me as maybe the most feasible. So let's go ahead, let's talk about what those could possibly be. So the first theory. The first idea of where things could possibly be going is they could be going into foreign currencies, foreign assets, just leaving the United States, as there has been so much tension with tariffs and everything going on around the United States itself and the rest of the world falling away from the dollar. There is the possibility that money is just shifting outside of the US altogether. Now, of course, this doesn't fully explain the valuation necessarily of gold and silver, but we could also kind of explain that away via the whole concept that we have that this is more of a paper market over here, which even ties in a little bit to my next theory. The second theory, in my personal opinion, is probably the most likely of the two, because the second theory is that what we are watching is a mass deleveraging of the entire market that has been pent up since the very beginning of QE back in 2008. And what I mean by that is people have spent years and years and years investing more and more money, growing into these ETFs and things that are at 2x, 3x leverage, right? Well, this leverage trading over time actually poses an issue because it's this capital that's pent up and built up that as soon as the foundation of that leverage begins to break, it all starts to fall apart. And that potentially is what we're seeing play out. Now, with the crumbling of that would potentially come the crumbling of a number of banks and institutions who are leveraged too heavy and didn't anticipate this kind of thing happening, which could also be playing into a little bit of what we're seeing play out now. Now, this fall apart, if you've been following my channel, would track with what we've kind of been anticipating all along, because the government typically doesn't intervene with things like quantitative easing or any kind of monetary policy until things get bad enough, like really bad, and they have to do something. Now, I know times like this can be crazy and they can be a little scary even, especially if you're invested heavily into the market. And I'm not going to lie, I'd be totally lying if I said that I didn't feel those same kinds of things. But we're already this deep, right? In my personal opinion, I'm not going anywhere. All of my positions that I've held, I am still a long-term investor in crypto. I do believe in the technology. And even if things crash out completely, right? Even if it goes way, way lower than it already has gone, it's dropped about to half of where it was at its peak back last October, I still will continue to hold